the situation in the schools for our kids is absolutely deplorable. More than half of our children, upwards of 70%, has reported suffering school bullying in schools based on their Sikh articles of faith. And what we're hoping is that our advocates will be voices in their local communities to make sure that dynamic ends, and it ends as soon as possible.
Just about the skills and the tools and the things that we can do to get our word out to the media and to do professionally. And so I think we've been able to obtain those skills too.
It's so important for this work to be done by everyone in the community at different levels, and not just by a few folks sitting in an office somewhere. That's not the voice of the people. Our role at the Sikh Coalition is to empower the voice of the people and inspire the community to take action, give them the skills and tools to do so, with us as their very strong partner.
And in many cases, if you're well organized, if you work as a coalition or as an organization, you may actually be able to impact the content of the final rule. In other words, you have the power to write law.
Let me tell you a little bit about the structure of the Sikh Advocate Academy. It was a week-long training program in Washington, D.C., live in person. We had 12 trainees, and Amar and I presented information about government engagement, media engagement, and alliance building. And we also had guest speakers from the federal government and the nonprofit sectors.
Well, today there were some excellent sessions. We had a representative from South Asian organization SALT, also from GLSEN, that represents the GLBT community, and a representative from the Anti-Defamation League. And it was, I personally found it very interesting and just fascinating to hear some of the challenges that they have faced. And although our communities are very different, the challenges we face are very much the same. So there's just so much to learn from these organizations who've been around much longer than the Sikh Coalition.
What I did not expect was the staff to be so amazing. They're very open-minded, and not that I didn't expect that.
We learned about different aspects of advocacy work through government engagement, media engagement, and alliance building. One of my areas that I can probably flourish in the most to actually make more of a difference is the writing aspect in media.
Never thought from that perspective that even for submissions, volume can make a lot of difference. So I'm already thinking of people I'm going to be on email saying that I'm submitting this article or op-ed or bellwether. You should also, let's do it together. Can have more power. So there was a great.
Part of the process for fighting bullying or discrimination is making community members aware that we can name this behavior, and it's an uncomfortable behavior for children, and naming it and then taking action against it.
I honestly feel that one of the major downfalls that we have is we don't have a united message, we don't have a united front. So it's very important that we get that training. We also don't know how to deal with journalists or government officials or media, so it's really important that we have that training, we have people who are trained to do that.
The fact that the Civil Rights Act allows for segregation of religious minorities in the workplace, to say, if you wear a hijab, you're in the back. If you wear a turban, you're in the back. And then the tools that we've discussed of how to write letters to the editor, or how to frame an argument, or to meet with a legislator, whether it's at the state, local, or national level, to raise their awareness.
Hi, my name is Singh and I'm from Texas. I just spoke with Senator John Cornyn's office about Texas bullying and bullying of school children. We met with Grace, who is his assistant, and introduced the bill that we wanted him to co-sponsor. What we conveyed to him was that it's very, very important that he sponsor this bill to make our schools safe for our Sikh children.
Like alliance building, which was I think the most important, because it's like networking, and networking is very important in order for us to move on.
Grassroots development, I think, is essential for any progress in getting anything done. And I feel like that's what this academy, and that's what I've learned, is just with the skills we're getting, is to hit those areas. And it's just essential, and it's something that is a very rare opportunity. I had to grab it.
You know, by having this Sikh Advocates Academy, what you're doing is, instead of having just an office in New York or just an office in DC, essentially you're creating tiny Sikh coalitions in other areas. You know, especially where these advocates come from, they're going to go back and they're going to make a difference and make a change.
One thing that I definitely learned was how important it is to build coalitions, build relationships, and maintain it. It really, it was a kind of a revelation, right? It was the amount of professionalism, the amount of thought process that goes into, okay, this is the message we want to push out, and so this is the way it should be, the very methodological approach that the Sikh Coalition takes.
This institute is about taking our future into our own hands and having us proactively approach legislators and the media to end this dynamic of discrimination before it occurs in the first place. It really is, if it works, a game changer.